So I'm here with Steve Scott, who's standing in the mayoral elections in Leicester on a socialist platform. So thank you for agreeing to be interviewed for my channel.
No problem.
And firstly, it's Socialist Alternative you're standing as.
Yes, we are the Socialist Party, but our registered name for elections is Socialist Alternative because they wouldn't let us stand as Socialist Party, that's all.
Okay. Well, one thing is, I'm assuming most left organisations are supporting Corbyn, and I believe the Socialist Party is supporting Corbyn.
We didn't stand, or we weren't part of an alliance, Tusk last time, against Corbyn in the last general election because we agree with his anti-austerity policies where he says he's going to reverse the cuts and so on. So we didn't want to get in the way of Corbyn winning a general election. But the local elections are different because you've got councils like the one in Leicester who are acting like Tories, who are passing on the cuts that the government is making to local people. And we feel that they should be fighting back against what the government is doing, and they should be refusing to make cuts. So we're standing to say there is an alternative to what Labour councils like Labour's one is doing, Leicester's one is doing, and you know, they could use the money they have in the bank. For example, they have £166 million in their reserves. Some of that is legally ring-fenced and you can't use, about 30 odd million of it, but the rest of it would be available to avert making cuts now in order to go to the people of Leicester and say, we need your backing, let's build a campaign and force the money that we need from the government. We've just won a huge battle, which I was the chair of the campaign for the Save Glenfied Children's Heart Centre campaign. We won that against what the government and NHS nationally wanted to close the Children's Heart Centre, and we did it because thousands of people got involved. Trade unions got involved, thousands of people marched on the streets, hundreds of thousands signed petitions and engaged with the consultation and so on. That kind of a campaign, times 10 in Leicester, could force money from the government. After all, we've got a government that really is on its knees at the moment. The Tories gave £1 billion to Northern Ireland in order to buy the votes of the Democratic Unionist Party in Northern Ireland so they could keep a majority after the general election. They've also gone round offering Labour MPs money for their constituencies if they vote for the Tories' particular Brexit deal, for May's Brexit deal. So they have money, and if you had a concerted campaign that linked up Leicester with other cities across the country, because what's the alternative? The alternative is to just carry on making the cuts. And we've seen a situation in Leicester where the homelessness service has been cut. Hostels have been closed, and yet people are sleeping on the streets. Thousands of people are on the council waiting lists. Why on earth is the council doing that? Why don't they build the council houses we need to start to solve the homelessness question? Why are they closing youth services and all these other services which will have a direct effect in the long term on the lives of young people and the people in this city? We need to take a stand against those kind of cuts, and that's why we're doing it. That's the reason we're standing in this election. And it wasn't just the Socialist Party, of course, it was a broad campaign that included lots of different people with different political viewpoints or no political viewpoint. But what we like to claim credit for is that we played a key part in that campaign. And in particular, what we managed to do, because I was a parent of a child who had heart surgery at Glenfied, but also an activist, a trade unionist and a socialist, we were able to link up the parents and the families and the patients themselves with the wider movement, with the trade unions. For example, Unite the Union fully backed the campaign and played a big role in helping us finance the demonstrations and bring support there. A whole range of trade unions across the city, the Trades Union Council in Leicester, a whole number of unions backed the campaign. And we sort of linked up the trade union and labour movement, if you like, with the parents and the people of Leicester in general, which shows how powerful we are if we get together and we're united. So we think we played a key role in bringing those elements together. We could do the same, but we need a socialist mayor and we need socialist councillors who can actually bring that about to fight to save our services in this city. Otherwise we could lose everything.